Hey, how's it going? James Little here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how to choose your specialization as a web developer. So if you're going down the path of trying to be a specialized web developer, there's a lot of different options or things to consider. So just for starters, a specialized web developer is more, there's a lot of different ways you can define it, but for me there's like three different categories of specialization as a web developer. So you can be industry specific, so that's working with one particular type of client. So it could be like the medical industry or the home services industry, servicing clients like plumbers and builders, and that sort of thing. The next is technology specific, so that would be just working with one specific type of platform. So for instance, if you're doing WordPress websites or Shopify websites or any other development platforms that you can build websites or web apps on. So that's technology specific. And then the third type is really like a business specific or use case specific type of specialization. So that could be anything from, it's really the category that you're working on. So that meaning like lead generation types of websites or e-commerce websites or web application development, or mobile apps as well, but this is more towards web development in this case. So once you've kind of, that's I guess a bit of an intro about the different types of web development in terms of specialization. But once you've worked on a few projects, like that's generally the best way that I've found to see what it is that you take a fancy in, what sort of work it is you like doing. And that's what I've ended up coming to my conclusions for our company. So we work with a lot of WordPress websites for building small business websites. And on the other hand, we also do custom web application maintenance on mostly PHP-based platforms. So like all the platforms like CodeIgniter through to like Laravel and Symfony. So those are more technology specific, and also just the category of work as well for the specialization. And the way that I chose what we wanted to work on was just through a lot of trial and error, honestly, like realizing that at the start of my web dev career, I was like a general web developer, which most people are, unless you all of a sudden just know, okay, I want to just work on e-commerce websites or anything like that. And it's fine, like you can still make tons of money as a general web developer, but the only reason, one of the main reasons to specialize is kind of for your own sanity. So you're not just doing, what I found was I was doing so many different types of web projects on different platforms, and you go a little bit crazy because all your work is completely different. And while it keeps you on your toes and you're learning a lot of new things, you come to a point where you can't scale your business that much. So kind of in the later stages, you realize, all right, if I'm doing everything for everyone, it's going to come to a point where I can't really get, above managing 4 or 5 different projects at once without going crazy. And once I figured that out, I started to close off from other offers that I was getting, like reducing the number of projects I was doing, say based on e-commerce. And for me personally, I was really enjoying working in app maintenance, web app maintenance for clients, because I provide a consulting role where I'm giving my feedback on the best ways to move forward, the new features to add in, and the best way to scale up the infrastructure. And from that, I've realized, look, it's good for the type of work we want to do, and in doing that, it's allowed me to say, okay, this is the type of clients that we love working with, and it's come through, I guess, understanding if you're happy with the amount of money you can get paid potentially for that, and also if you get enjoyment out of it at the end of the day. Because we've worked on a lot of clients' projects that maybe they pay a little bit of money extra, but if it's not really enjoyable and it's not the sort of work or businesses you enjoy working with, then it's really not that sustainable, and you're not going to enjoy it for a very long period of time. So I guess to come to the conclusion of it, it's really just seeing through, if you take that journey from coming as a generalist web developer, then eventually you will start to, you know, you will say yes to a lot of projects at the start because you don't necessarily have a big amount of deal flow coming in and knowing where your next job's coming through. So it can be the case that you're like, all right, I'll just take whatever I want or whatever I can get. And then through that process, like, you can either find a little bit more about yourself in terms of what you get the most fulfillment from. And then it's really a case of saying like, all right, I'm going to keep these general projects coming in, but then on the opposite end, I'm going to start looking only for this type of project as well. And then eventually you can get to the point where you have enough of that specialization which you've decided to go and niche down into. And once you're at that point, you're not going to necessarily need to take on these additional work or project types that you don't enjoy the most, or that you don't get the money that you want for those projects. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.